You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? What is going down? It's your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Today's episode, guys, we're going to be talking about, well, it's been around. It's been out here in these entertainment streets. It's been everywhere. Everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's got videos about it. Star Wars, Rise of the Skywalker. Yes. We're going to be talking about that. Going to be talking about Jump Festa 2020 and how it was a major fucking letdown. Going to be talking about, some Dragon Ball stuff, Dragon Ball news, or shall I say no news. Going to be talking about Granblue Fantasy. We got a new gameplay video that just released not too long ago. And yeah, man, there's a couple other things that took place at Jump Festa that I did actually like, but like I said before, it's not a lot. The main thing I was checking for was Dragon Ball news, Dragon Ball Super news, and yeah, we didn't. I'm gonna get into it. Anyway, let's begin the show. I guess I want to start out with Jump Festa. We're here. I was anticipating this, to be really, really good because of, Dragon Ball Super. They had everybody, all the Dragon Ball fans at least, waiting at, their beck and call, trying to figure out what was going to go down, what news were we going to get, when was the anime going to start again? And we got none of that. I mean, I felt like I got slapped in the face. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I was really looking forward to some Dragon Ball stuff, and we did not receive that. The only thing we got really was, Dragon Ball Hero stuff. Just a bunch of shit that doesn't really fucking matter to me, in my opinion. And we got other announcements, that weren't Dragon Ball stuff, by Toei Animation Studios, but we didn't get Dragon Ball. They did say that they're going to continue with the manga, which is, in my opinion, some of the best chapters out right now, as far as Dragon Ball is concerned in its whole history. But, everybody was looking forward to news of a new anime, and we did not get that. We didn't get anything. We didn't get any release dates. We didn't get any release date windows. We got no fucking news, man. And I was blown away. I was shocked. I was really fucking shocked because they mentioned, having a sit down, having a Dragon Ball, panel, a Dragon Ball Super panel. So everybody got excited, and it was a Dragon Ball Super panel, but they were talking about the manga. That's basically what it boils down to. And of course, Jump Festa has a lot of different, figures, to show on display, things that, are going to come out later and all of that. And that was cool. I mean, there were some interesting things there. I'm a small time collector of anime, mostly anime stuff, statues and figures and stuff like that. And they had some cool things there. But, like I said before, man, the meat and potatoes of what I thought was going to be this Jump Fest, it was going to be the Dragon Ball shit. And it was not the case. It did not happen. And I was very, very let down by that. Almost to the point of being disgusted, because I felt betrayed. I felt snowed. I felt, like they ran up on me, like Toei Animation ran up behind me, hit me over the head with a foreign object, removed my garments, pulled out a tub of warm fucking butter, dipped their tips in that warm butter, and then proceeded to insert it in my ass. Yes, I felt violated. I felt anime raped. I felt, yeah, this is the best way I can describe it. That's how I felt, man. I mean, and I'm not alone. If you go to Twitter, if you just, hit up Google, you'll see that I'm not the only one. And we're all sore. We all have old, butter residue on our ass, and we're trying to wash it off. We all have, some of us have hickeys on the back of our neck, that still, smell like sake. And we can't get it off of us. I don't care how many showers you take. You can't, wash that off of your body, in one day. Sometimes even 2 or 3, hickeys take, sometimes, 4 or 5 days to disappear. So I'm wearing turtlenecks out here in these, in these anime streets right now, hiding my rape. But anyway, that's how I feel about it, man. I mean, I'm kind of angry about it. Because, they didn't give any indication of that they were doing this. They made everybody, they let everybody think that, it is possible to get some Dragon Ball stuff. And it's been so long. It's been so long already. Now, it could be a number of different things, things they just are just going to be tight-lipped about. But I'm not going to speculate like that. I don't like to speculate because we've speculated all the way up to this point and we got no love in the building as a result. We still have Dragon Ball products being, coming out. It's just crazy. We got the Dragon Ball game early, 2020. We got, Jiren, the new, SH Figure Arts figure coming out. One of my most anticipated, collectibles, coming out in January. And, we still have things. And like I said, they announced a lot of different, merch at the event. So, they're still keeping those coming and milking, the franchise, if you will, until we actually get some more anime. And you know what? Maybe they're not done. Maybe they learned their lesson from, when Dragon Ball Super first came out, because, if you guys remember, the early days of Dragon Ball Super were kind of hard to watch as far as, production quality. They really were. They looked like, a bunch of preschoolers. They gave a bunch of preschoolers, just cookies and milk and sat them down at a desk with some crayons and said, look here, if you want these cookies, we have more. All we need you to do is sit down and draw some Dragon Ball stuff. See, here's Goku. We want you to draw him like this. And just walked out of the room and let them, do what they wanted. Came back in, grabbed all the paper and said, look, this is going to be our first, month of shows right here. All we had to do was give these motherfuckers cookies and milk and we're good. And that's what it looked like. I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but it did look that bad at times. So if you do, or when you do come back, Dragon Ball Super, as long as you don't repeat that, we should be in good hands. And maybe then we can, calm down a little bit. But I just thought we were going to get something, man. Just an inkling of something, a release date window or something, I don't know. Maybe I'm too spoiled. Maybe we're all spoiled, now. We want everything now. We've been getting everything, now. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I'm dumbfounded. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know what else to say, man. And that's it. That's all I have for Dragon Ball. For Dragon Ball Super, now the manga is, fucking, rocking and fucking rolling. The manga is doing very well. Vegeta, my boy, is definitely, getting stronger. He's learning a lot on Yard Rat, and, Mirrors, fucking Mirrors is an angel, man. That's why he was so fucking wet. New listeners, if you're listening, wet means, amazing or highly skilled. It's a term I created, WETT. So if you hear me say that, that's what I'm referring to. But yeah, Mirrors is a fucking angel. His identity has been revealed in the manga, and he's actually a angel in training. So he's Whis', brother. So yeah, that was crazy. I was wondering why he was so fucking wet. Like, Vegeta couldn't touch him. You know what I mean? He was just deceptively quick. I knew he was holding a secret, but I didn't know what the fuck it was. And now it makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It really does. And like I said, the manga, I'm not going to get too deep into the manga, but the manga is fucking good. The manga is really good. Goku and Vegeta are getting stronger and learning new things. Vegeta's still learning new shit. And, I can't wait to see how this turns out. And I really hope that they eventually, when we get to the anime again, whenever that is, I hope that they adapt this manga. I really do. And I think they should. Because it's too good not to. It really is. It's too good not to. And they've pretty much done, right by Dragon Ball when it comes to doing that type of stuff. So I don't think there's ever been a manga arc that they have not made into an anime or adapted. So I don't think we have to worry there. But the only thing we might have to worry about is when this shit is going to come out. They're not talking about anything. Maybe we get some new, announcement, later, second half of 2020 or something like that, of things to come, and maybe we're getting closer. So, but if I'm being honest with you guys, I don't see another Dragon Ball Super anime episode until the end of 2020 or beginning of 2021. That's just me. I'm pretty much now to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to focus on, what's in front of me. Just focus on the manga and get my, bits from there. And then, put all my attention, the rest of my attention into, other anime, other things, because there's just so much to consume. I mean, you're going to find something, and there's so much good shit out there. So I'm just going to do that, I still have my Dragon Ball Fighters. I still have, I will have the Dragon Ball game coming out, and then, all of that type of stuff. So, and the movie, there's also supposed to be a Dragon Ball movie in the works. We haven't got any news on that either. Let me also put that out there on the table. So, I mean, we literally got no Dragon Ball Super news, no new anything. You know what I mean? And it sucks. It does, but it is what it is, I guess now. But definitely, if you guys aren't into the manga, or you want to get caught up on what's going on after the Tournament of Power, I definitely recommend you guys get into the manga. And, it's on YouTube. It's, or you can go to your bookstore, and they have them there. And depending on what kind of apps you have, you can read it there digitally. It's out there, and it's definitely, worth taking a look at and getting caught up on what's been going on, what, Vegeta's doing, what all the other characters are doing, man, what's about to happen. So definitely look forward to that, and check it out if you haven't. All right. A lot of things happened this past weekend, man. And a lot of things are going to happen moving forward. But before I get started on the next subject, I want to let all the new listeners know that, I'm glad you're here. I want to say that. I also want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And I hope you guys have a great New Year as well. Also, if you're into nerd culture, if you're into anime and video games, that's what we talk about here. That is the main point of discussion on this podcast. Also, the YouTube channel is definitely, I'm making strides with that as well. So be looking out for all that stuff, guys. I'll give you more information at the end of the show, but welcome newcomers. I hope you enjoy the show. Let's continue. The next thing I want to talk about, I still want to talk a little bit about Jump Festa, because the next thing I really want to see or talk about is a couple of things, actually. The first thing is the trailer they released for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. There's a new trailer they released, and it has Trunks. Trunks is the main focus of this. And I know there's a lot of Trunks fans out here, and I'm sure you guys are going to dig that. And the more and more I keep seeing of this game, as new things start to develop, they made it seem like Dragon Ball, this game, was only going to feature Goku, or AKA Kakarot. And the more and more I watch, and the more videos that come to the surface, I start to see all these other characters are running around doing shit. And it makes sense that it had to be done that way, because without these characters, I mean, they were more than half of what Dragon Ball was about. And I'm talking about most anime. When you got a main character, yeah, he's the main character or she's the main character. But then the people who make that character who they are the people who surround them, are the people that, are in their lives on a daily basis and stuff like that. So it makes sense that these characters had to be in here. But apparently Trunks has a nice plethora of things he can do, just like Vegeta did. in different versions of Vegeta, and just like Gohan in different versions of him. So there's going to be different arcs, different timelines that you can control these characters and run around and do missions and do things on separate, worlds, if you will. They're like huge open world areas, divided in different chunks. So you can fly to one, you might fly to one in, an earlier time where, Gohan was a child. And then you might, fast forward later on and you get later into the game when he's an adult, in the Buu saga or whatever. So it allows you to play as all these characters, Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks now, and then you also have your side characters and your support characters, when you get into battle and stuff like that, which I think is dope as well. So the game is just really looking like it's starting to look really, really good, man. I mean, it's just so many things that you're able to do here. So many different secrets. The world, looks beautiful. It's breathtaking. I cannot wait to play this and experience this and basically get into all the shit that, we never got to see, on the show. And apparently there's a lot of it. Apparently there's a lot of things that took place. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of different stories to be told in this game that we never had a chance to see, kind of like what you might have wondered about a character when they weren't with the squad. What the fuck was Piccolo doing when he wasn't, with the team, or what was Gohan doing, at this time or whatever. And you can kind of take, control of that character and experience those things. Same thing with Vegeta. I wonder what Vegeta was up to during this time or that time. And you can kind of play out those things. And I think they have a lot of secrets hidden and waiting for us to explore and find them out and stuff. And I think that's really dope. I really do. This is the first Dragon Ball RPG game that I've played since Attack of the Saiyans. And I cannot wait to dive into this shit. I really can't. Moving on to the next subject. And that next subject is there's a new anime amongst us. And it's by Toei Animation. Toei Animation is producing this anime, and it goes by the name of Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. And, I've always been fascinated with the Dragon Quest characters and some of their games as well. And because Toriyama was, how can you not? When he's the artist, I love his art style. I always have. And he's got his hands in this. And I'm anxious to see what this anime is going to be about. It's only like 1 minute and 30 seconds of screen time or whatever. But the shit looks fucking great. The shit looks epic. It looks like it's going to be really good, man. And I'm looking forward to this one in 2020. I really am. And that's really like one of the only bright spots for me. I mean, besides the merch that's coming out, and there's a lot of different merch. Man, I saw a fucking prototype from Demon Slayer or Kimetsu no Yaiba for my boy Tanjiro, and it looked fucking, oh God, it looked fucking so good. It's probably not coming out until maybe, I'm guessing 2021, maybe late 2020. But just to know that they're working on this type of stuff, man, it's got me really, really excited, man. And I can't wait to add some of these to the collection. Like I said, Jiren will be on the way. He'll be here somewhere late January, early February, in the man cave. Definitely will be posting him on Instagram or somewhere, maybe Twitter or something, whenever I get a new one. I did that with Tien. I did that with, did I do it? I think I did it with Golden Frieza, and I might have done it with Android 16. Some of my other favorite characters out here in these Dragon Ball streets. But anyway, yeah, that was pretty much the only bright spot. I mean, there were a couple other, things that they showed here and there. But those were my bright spots. There's some other stuff that was going on, and, it's just so much stuff to cover. Besides that, the main focus for me was the Dragon Ball stuff, and, we didn't get anything, but it's all good. That was pretty much Jump Festa right there, man, for me in a nutshell. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys listening to this podcast may have, checked it out. It's about 5 hours, in time, lengthwise, but I'm sure there's other things out there that some of you guys listening might have found interesting. And I'd love to hear about those also. Hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. We can talk about that shit. On Twitter at Studio MacGyver, man. I'd like to hear what you guys thought about Jump Festa. If there were anything that you were excited about, maybe something you wanted to maybe talk about or address, that'd be cool as well. I'm always interested in looking through the other side of the window. Anyway, that's Jump Festa, guys. I guess let's talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room It's Star Wars. Star Wars, Star Wars. Yeah. Well, I went to go see it Thursday night, late Thursday night. I think it went like midnight, 12:15. Me and a friend of mine who is in Atlanta, Dig. Some of you guys listening know him. We've done a few podcasts together. He's been on the show a few times now. And, you know, we decided to go see it. We went to go see it at the same time. I'm in Dallas. He's in Atlanta. And then we got out of the theater and we met back up on the phone and wanted to discuss what happened. And I gave the fucking movie a 6 out of 10. He gave it, you know, a 5.5 out of 10. So we're close. You know, we're in there. I'm sure, you know, if you guys are listening, you probably know that, you know, the reviews are out. People, for the most part, are shitting all over this fucking, you know, movie. There's a couple people that aren't, you know, and, you know, hey, your opinion, you know, if that's how you feel about it, hey, I'm not trying to take that shine away from you. That's you. But for me personally, you know, it was definitely not a good movie. And my reason for that is because there were just too many fucking plot holes in this damn movie. It was shot full of plot. It was shot full of fucking holes, you know, with a 12 gauge. It was just leaking, laying there in an alleyway, ready to die. That's just how I felt about it, man. I mean, so many different things that were happening, that were going on in the movie. I'm entering spoiler territory. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled by this, please just skip this part or, you know, stop listening. But if you've watched the other Star Wars movies, which I have, and, you know, it was just put together badly, man. I mean, it was like they threw a bunch of ideas in a fucking bag and tied the bag up and said, here's our movie. Okay. A couple of things for me were, you know, the development of some of these characters. I mean, some of the mainstay characters, Finn, you know, which is, I just really thought they were going to elaborate and we're going to get some answers, like who he actually really was, like what was his real name? You know, there was some kind of love triangle type of thing going on, you know, in the last movie, you know, with some of these characters, because, you know, it felt like they were leading us in a direction on the earlier movies. And I was like, okay, well, when we watch the next one, we're going to find out what happens in the end. But no, that never happened. The character Rose in the movie, which is the Asian female, you know, when she kissed Finn in the last movie, you know, before she thought she was going to die, or, you know, she was badly injured, I thought that maybe they were pushing that agenda. Maybe we were going to see something like that. But at the same time, you know, Finn was, you know, not checking for her. That surprised him. He was, you know, everybody knows that Finn was into Rey, you know, was really crushing on Rey. But, and I thought, okay, well, maybe he'll get some answers here. And I thought maybe when the shit happened with Rose, that, okay, maybe that offset and now he's going to be with her. And then they'll just drop the whole, you know, the whole Rey situation. But they didn't. Instead, they never said anything else. They never, you know, they never approached the Rose situation with Finn ever again. You didn't even get to see Rose in the movie. She maybe have had maybe 45 seconds of screen time, if that. Not a lot, man. And they never addressed it. They never talked about it. Nothing. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe they'll push the envelope with the Rey situation, because we all know he loves Rey. And there was times in the movie where he actually tried to tell her, you know, about how he felt. He said, I want to tell you something. I got to tell you something. And every time he tried to do it, something happened to where it threw them off balance and they had to, you know, they had to do something else. Something got, you know, dangerous, or something was always just breaking it up. Okay. And he never got a chance to tell her. She didn't even get a chance to reject him or accept him or anything. That story never even paid out. It never paid off. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's just bad writing, in my opinion. It's just bad writing. You give everybody all these setups in the movies, like the potential of what's to come, and then you don't answer on any of these. It's just so fucking stupid. And then you want to talk about Kylo Ren and how they did that. You know, that scene was it was just retarded. Palpatine, I mean, all of a sudden he's here, and like this fleet just falls from the fucking, I just can't, man. You know what I mean? And the more and more I thought about it, it made me sicker. And what really made it worse, the ending of the movie, they tried to set this shit up to where, she basically names herself as a Skywalker. So at the very end of the movie, she's burying these lightsabers on Tatooine, and, all of a sudden this old senior citizen just pops out of the blue onto the screen with her horse, her animal. And she asks Rey, "So who are you?" And she says, "Rey." And then after that, she pauses for a minute. "Rey who?" And then she says, "Rey Skywalker." And I'm sorry, man. I lost my shit. It just was just so, what old ass lady, okay, first of all, is gonna give a fuck about your last name? And this bitch, she just appeared out of nowhere. She's here now. There was nobody. The camera showed it was nobody around. Like, she didn't hear this motherfucker walk up on her or anything. And then she just pops up and then she's there all of a sudden. I can't get with that. But the Kylo situation, man, Kylo ends up, Rey ends up dying. Kylo ends up using his force abilities to bring her back, but then he drains his and he ends up dying. And then she ends up kissing him before he dies. Okay? So Rose likes Finn. Finn likes Rey. Kylo likes Rey. Rey kisses Kylo, and then Kylo dies and then disappears in the thin air. And there's so much more that just didn't make sense to me. And it was just so much more that it basically spelled bad writing. If you're a true Star Wars fan, if you're into that actual story, the writing of a show, things are supposed to go together. Things are supposed to, make sense. There's supposed to be an end, a means to an end here. I thought this movie was going to be the one that just tied everything off, even good, bad, or ugly, even if it was a bad movie, which it is. But you would at least, I thought, would get, some closure on some of this stuff, man. And you didn't even get that. It made completely no sense. And I don't understand it. There were some bright spots action wise and some things like that and some cool moments and stuff. But what isn't in there? There's always some of those in the Star Wars movie, but that's not going to pass it. That's not going to get it to the race. It's just not. It's not enough by any stretch of the imagination. If you're somebody who's just a casual person and wants to just go see a movie and you like sci-fi, then you'll probably enjoy this movie somewhat more, especially if you're not familiar with, everything, in the universe and what's going on and all of that. You might like it a little bit more. But for the most people who go to see this, well, a lot of people, I'm not going to say most, but they saw what I saw for the most part. Just a bunch of bad writing. And, if you watch anime, then you fucking know good writing from bad writing. And sometimes shit gets exposed, sometimes. Because even in Dragon Ball, I'm keeping it real. I thought Dragon Ball was the fucking creme de la creme at one point. Until I saw Naruto. And, Naruto just exposed a lot of things on Dragon Ball as far as the writing was going on. And we all know Toriyama is known for getting characters and doing this and doing that. So, I guess some of that comes with the territory. But for the most part, Naruto was just a cut above, man, as far as the writing, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I love Dragon Ball. Please don't get it twisted. I got Dragon Ball tattoos. I have Dragon Ball merch in my room. I was born and bred off of, Dragon Ball. I'm just being honest. And the writing on the wall says that the Star Wars shit was just put together sloppily and it was just bad. It was bad. Yeah, it just was. That's pretty much how I feel about Star Wars. That's that. There it is in a fucking nutshell. I don't even know what else to say about it. Me and Dick actually talked about it for about almost an hour. And we recorded our conversation, and there's a video on the internet coming out Tuesday. So if you guys are interested in hearing that, you can definitely tune in Tuesday on YouTube, Studio MacGyver TV, and check out that. But as far as the rest of the movie's concerned and all that, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna put my money on the table and walk away. It cost me $13, and I'm just, fuck it. It's $13 I won't get back. And I felt like I had to see it because I had to see what they were gonna do. I had to see it for myself. I just couldn't wait, and I just fucking couldn't wait. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it as well. So, I mean, this is gonna cost me $13 to get it off my chest and talk about it. So fucking be it. And here's what I'm gonna get to next. This is what made me, this is what made me realize how bad this movie really was. Keep in mind that this was on a Thursday night. Now, I had assumed that The Mandalorian was going to come out Friday, the next day. So I thought, my ritual is usually I'll wake up Friday morning and watch The Mandalorian, right? Well, that didn't happen. Apparently, they released that episode early in conjunction with Star Wars. Maybe they had something going on. I don't know. But it didn't come out on Friday. It came out a day or two early. And I ended up coming home and I watched The Mandalorian after the movie, and the fucking Mandalorian blew me away. That shit blew me a fucking way. The writing and just the way that The Mandalorian came about and up to this point has been nothing short of breathtaking. And if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, I don't know that's what you need to be watching. This is true Star Wars shit here. This is the shit that you need to be putting in your life. And it made me realize, why in the fuck aren't they doing this for the cinematic universe? What is going on here? And then it made me realize, well, yeah, it's Hollywood, man. They Hollywood and shit. They got people working on the game. I mean, not the game, but people working on the franchise, the movie, whatever. J.J. Abrams, who, in my opinion, he's not a very big Star Wars fan. He's just a guy who, he's a guy who gets hired to fucking direct movies, action movies and shit for the most part. And that's how he took, this, In my opinion, I feel he took it as a job. He doesn't strike me as somebody who's very passionate about this franchise. He may like it a little bit, but I don't think he's passionate like, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And these are the guys who are responsible for The Mandalorian. Now, if they're going to do anything moving forward, they have to fucking know this. They have to put these guys in there some shape, fashion, or form. Now, there's been rumors saying that, the next Star Wars movie that's coming out, that Filoni and Favreau are going to be consultants. They're going to be, able to, make comments on certain things, suggest certain things, and I hope that is true. At least I hope that at the very least, that's what their job description is. I'd really like it to be more so of a director or a producer, but hey, you can't have it all. And plus, they got their hands on this Mandalorian thing. There's already season 2 there in the works, so they're pretty busy right now, and they got a hit on their hand with the Mandalorian. I'm telling you guys, this is some of the best shit I've seen. Not just talking Star Wars either. Okay, but this is the creme de la creme of Star Wars in 2019 and beyond. This is the shit that I'm looking forward to. This is the shit that everybody's excited about. I hope we get some of that same stuff moving forward with, with Obi-Wan's show and everything else coming. But yes, we definitely need some of this sprinkled on the future of the Star Wars movies. We have to, because if it's not, it's just going to be a shit show after another shit show. And I can't have it. And I'm sure a lot of you guys out here listening can't have it either. But definitely check out The Mandalorian if you have not watched it, which most of you guys probably have. It's killer. It's the greatest. And, that's what made me realize how really, really bad that Star Wars shit was in comparison, man. So, I mean, that's where I stand on that. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything else about Star Wars at all. I'm done. Let's move on to the tail end of this show, guys. I'm going to keep it short and motherfucking sweet this episode. There's another show out here on the horizon. But before I get to that show, I want to talk about an update on a game that I've been anticipating for the last year and a half. And it goes by the name of Granblue Fantasy. Yes. This is a JRPG. It's a PlayStation exclusive. I've talked about it before on the podcast, many moons ago. But Yes, we got a 12-minute video, gameplay video of some new gameplay. The fucked up thing about this whole thing is we still have no release date window. We've got to be getting close, though, if they put this out. I say we got to be getting close. Maybe, if not first quarter of 2020, definitely second quarter. I think that's where we're heading, in that direction. I think they're getting close to being done with it, and they're about ready to push that play button. I actually did a video on it, a reaction video to it. It's about, like I said, 12 minutes video, and it's pretty fucking dope. I am so excited to play this game. The thing that really got me more excited than I already was about this game was the fact that you can fucking play co-op. Yes, you can play co-op mode online. So in other words, you can do your Bloodborne shit right here in this game. You can play with up to 4 friends, well, up to 3 friends, because then you'd make 4. So your teams are in 4 anyway. And if you're playing by yourself, you can swap out, characters you want to control. But if you want to get together a fucking group, you can do that as well and tackle the shit Monster Hunter style. You know what I mean? I think that shit is going to be so fucking crazy. I think it's going to be so crazy, man. Cannot wait. My boy Dig saw it. A couple other people that I fuck with saw it, and they're excited as well. I already knew it was going to be fun solo, but now being able to play the whole game through with friends, it just makes it that much more sweeter, and I cannot fucking wait to get my hands on this game. This is really one of my most anticipated games besides The Last of Us 2 and besides Ghost of Tsushima. I can't get the pronunciation of that fucking game, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, that game. Really anticipating that fucking game, guys. Cannot fucking wait to play it. Yeah, I'm head over heels for that game. I really am. There's only a few games left in the life cycle of the current systems now, and we're pushing closer and closer, man. We got about another year left, and then it's on to the next. And I'll have both systems. I'm already going to be saving up, so I'm getting ready now. I decided to go ahead and push play on the Xbox, the new Xbox X Series or Series X, however you pronounce it, and the new PlayStation 5. So I'm going to have both of them. I just believe that, something in me, something in the back of my mind is telling me that, Xbox is still not going to beat Sony, in my opinion, but they're going to make some huge strides. The ratio is not going to be 2-to-1 like it was this generation as far as console sales go. And I think that they're going to close that gap, somewhat. So I think, they'll get a lot better because they've signed a lot of different studios already. And I think they're going to make some other moves out here. And I think they'll be okay, especially for some of their exclusive stuff. That's really what you're buying the system for, their exclusives. And I want to see what they bring to the table as well. And then also, the gaming shit, I take it very seriously. So I figured, this time, I've never done this before, buy both systems. I just usually go with one. But I said, this time I'm going to go and do the whole thing. You know what I mean? I'm growing my YouTube channel. I'm doing a couple of things on social media now. I got the podcast, ripping and roaring right now. So I'm trying to get all this stuff, man, together and, move forward, man, and do new things in 2020 and beyond. So I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to do more and more content, more everything for you guys, for everybody who supports me, and for the community, the anime and video game community. I think that's an awesome community to be a part of. I've made so many friends, talking about this shit, watching, anime, talking about it. Same thing with games. It's just been a life-changing experience for me, and I'm so glad that I have this in my life. I really am, because, it's a stress reliever for me. It helps me just get through the day-to-day grind of life sometimes. And it's one of those things that, not everybody has. Everybody does not have something that they can call their own or something that they can enjoy at their beck and call whenever they want, any time of the day. Some people like to go hiking. Some people like the outdoors. But of course, you're not going to be able to do that 24/7. You know what I mean? But for something like this, I have it at my fucking fingertips, and I'm able to enjoy it and bask in the ambiance, if you will, anytime I feel like it, man. And that is a beautiful thing. I'm able to look over here at these beautiful collectibles whenever I'm able to, sit down in my man cave and turn on the TV and start a game and get lost in a new world. Same thing with anime. Turn on the TV, man, and get lost in the story. You know what I mean? Just, it's beautiful. Beautiful fucking thing. Anyway, guys, that game, Granblue Fantasy, definitely check it. Definitely be looking for it. It's called Granblue Fantasy Re-link. Okay, and there's also a fighting version of that. The same people who did Dragon Ball FighterZ is doing the fighting game, and that's supposed to come out in February. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I think I'm going to be getting into that and see how that's popping. And, you know, I'll definitely let you guys know how that goes, because I do love my fighting games. So last but not least, what I want to, you know, brush down real quick is another show on Netflix. And you know I was going to bring it up. You had to know I was going to bring this shit up, and I have to speak a little bit on it. I haven't seen them all. I tried to binge them, but I've been so busy. I'm going to finish it by next week. It'll definitely be done. And I'm talking about The Witcher on Netflix. I was blown away by the show. I'm not going to lie to you. He pulled it off. Superman pulled it off, man. It's a really fucking good show, man. I mean, the production value is top notch. The choreography on a lot of the fighting scenes, all of the fighting scenes are fucking epic. And I'm only 3 episodes in. So like I said, you know, it's still a lot. I still have 5 episodes to go. It's only 8 episodes, but they're an hour apiece. I'm talking to you, Mandalorian. Let's get it next year, next season. Can we get a little bit longer? But hey, I can't bitch about that because The Mandalorian is just, it seems like they know what they're doing. I mean, if it's 34 minutes, one episode, cool. If it's 39, the next, I mean, it always ends how it needs to end, I guess. So I can't bitch and moan about the length of it if it's going to fuck it up. But as far as The Witcher is concerned, man, they've done a fucking fantastic job with this fucking show. I am loving this fucking show, and I think they got something here with Netflix. I think we're going to see a season 2 of The Witcher. We fucking better, because this show is amazing. It really is. I mean, even if you're not a fan of The Witcher, the series, the game, it's based off of a video game. It's based off a video game character. You guys definitely need to check it out, though. I'm serious. If you haven't seen it, or if you make plans to see it, go ahead and watch that shit, man. Please. You're doing yourself a great disservice if you're not. It's a great show. Last but not least, I said that was last but not least, but this is really, really last but not least. Christmas is right around the corner, and I'm really excited because, like I said, this is going to be my first crack at an Xbox One. I've never played an Xbox One. I've never had one before now. I'm getting my son one for Christmas, and, you know, when he's not around, when he's not playing it, I'm going to be playing it. And, you know, I look forward to, you know, my experience with this machine. I look forward to discovering things about it. I've already discovered one little cool thing about it. And I bought a Logitech camera for my YouTube channel, and I discovered that you can actually use this camera to work for you. So I might be streaming some games, man, on Twitch again. I might be doing that. We shall see. Yeah. So, but yeah, I really wanted to talk about the Xbox a little bit, the Game Pass, and how excited I am to experience that. There's a lot of games on there that I really wanted to play on the PlayStation 4, but, you know, you just don't have the money to buy everything all the time. So I'll have a chance to play all of those games, experience those games on the Xbox. Also, some exclusives that were only released on the Xbox that I can't wait to touch. And I've talked about this a little bit, guys. You know, KOTOR 1 and 2, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Yeah, man, $5 a piece, I think. And yeah, it's $5 a piece. Boom. And download them, and there you go. Get to play them. So I can't wait to jump into those. And there's some other games too I've been looking at that I can't wait to get my hands on. Anyway, I'll be doing a lot of that this holiday season. I'll probably be posting some videos soon, so look out for that. And just giving you guys my experience, man, on this game. You know, be looking out for Studio MacGyver, man, out there. All the Xbox players, you know what I mean? So maybe we can get into some gangster shit, yo, and have some friends, because I don't have any friends. I won't have any friends on Xbox. So hopefully, you know, my goal, my New Year's resolution is to make a few friends on Xbox now and kind of start some relationships there, you know what I mean? And go from there. Because like I said, I've met a nice handful of some of my best friends on the PlayStation, and I hope I can meet some of you guys out there too. And I'll leave you guys with this, and that will do it for the show. If you guys are interested in being on the show, if you want to talk about anime and games, and you want to get into some shit with me on the show, you can fucking absolutely do that, man. All you need are two things: a fucking computer and a motherfucking microphone, and you are in. Okay? If you're interested and you're really serious about doing that, you can just inbox me at Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can also hit me on Instagram. That's Studio MacGyver79. Also check out the fucking Facebook page, baby, at Studio MacGyver as well. You heard me talking about the YouTube channel. That's Studio MacGyver TV. Check the videos out. I'm posting 4 to 5 times a week from this day on. I've been doing it for a week now, and I've got so many videos, guys, so many things to talk about. And if you want to get more personable with your boy, you can do that on that channel. And that's going to do it. That is going to do it for the show. Also, one quick shout out to Beautiful Nerds. If you're into merchandise like, hats, beanies, hoodies, things of that nature, based on anime, based on games, you definitely want to check out Beautiful Nerds. They update and add new shit on a monthly basis. I think everybody will find something to like or enjoy on this website. It's www.beautifulnerds.com. Nerds is spelled Nurdz. Oh, okay. That's it, guys. I want to thank all the listeners. Everybody who's been down with me from fucking day one. I know who you are. I love you very much. And even the newcomers. All the people who've discovered me on accident. I don't know how you guys, stumbled upon this podcast. But hey, I'm glad you did. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Have a fucking Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.